listening to Range Minded from Independence Indoor Shooting. This is episode 106, where we talk with Matt from 556 Bodyops, a men's hair and body care company with military and firearms roots. We talk about what 556 Bodyops is all about, what organizations they support, how to bring your passion for firearms into your own business, and Matt's personal firearms journey. This is a great one. We enjoyed it. We really hope you do too. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy episode 106 of Range Minded, the 556 Bodyops Interview. Hello and welcome to Range Minded from Independence Indoor Shooting. My name is Mark Long, and I am joined as always by...
Hey, the handsome Steve Zimmerman.
One and only on location in Eastern Idaho, and we have another special guest with us as well. Why don't you introduce yourself, special guest?
What's up, everybody? My name's Matt Hill. I am the co-founder of 556 Bodyops.
Yeah, so this is we're gonna talk about firearms today, but we're also talking about 556 Bodyops, just kind of the lifestyle of firearms enthusiasts a little bit, and how you can kind of better care for yourself, and it'll all come full circle, I think, as well. So, so Matt, why don't we just jump right into it? Tell us a little bit about 556 Bodyops, what you guys are all about, and how you got started.
Absolutely. So, over the summer last year, a buddy came to me with an idea. He said he was standing in his shower one morning and it just kind of hit him. He's an Iraq vet, and he thought to himself, why don't we have a veteran or frontline focused body care line? He kind of had his own business at that point, but it was something completely new to him. And he reached out to me because I'd worked with him for some marketing projects in the past. And I told him it was a dumb idea, that he shouldn't even consider getting into that world because none of us knew anything about it.
Sure.
But, it just kind of lingered, and we both kept thinking about it. We kept brainstorming ideas until all of a sudden we were just on a mission to make the best quality men's care line that would give back to frontline charities and really do some good in the world.
Cool, man. That's
nice.
That's awesome. So yeah, it's a little bit different than kind of what I thought, because not only is kind of your line gives back to veterans and law enforcement and first responders, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But what kind of, and not in a bad way, but what surprised me in a good way was it's all natural, right?
All natural. None of the garbage chemicals that you're going to find in most, over-the-counter stuff. It's something we wanted to introduce to, people that maybe don't have any experience with all natural body care products and don't really know maybe the danger that those harsh chemicals and sulfates and all those, standard ingredients can really cause long-term and short-term.
So is that one of the benefits of going kind of all natural with your hair and body care? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So there's been a lot of studies that kind of correlate sulfates, certain things a lot of these goo products that you buy at like Target or Walmart, they use such harsh chemicals that, yes, you feel clean, and they smell really strong. But unfortunately, those can be neurotoxins to our bodies, and we're washing them in certain areas that are very sensitive. And we're absorbing all that garbage and aluminum, for example, in deodorants and things like that can really, over time, there's been correlations to Alzheimer's and cancers and all this other stuff that we really wanted to make sure that people were aware of that maybe haven't thought about that before. Like from my end, I'm like, whatever's in the shower, I'm using it. I wasn't picky.
Yeah, you
if
think
my
maybe
wife
it's all
has
the same.
something,
Yeah.
I'm grabbing it, I'm using it, I'm done, I'm out, I'm not thinking about it. But, she was actually been really passionate about the all-natural body care products for our family. So it was something for me that, kind of resonated, because I thought to myself, this should be really something other people know about. And there really aren't any options out there for, blue collar workers, people that don't really give much thought into that aspect of cleaning themselves and grooming on a daily basis. Yeah, we're all trying to make sure we look our best, perform our best every day. But that part of it doesn't really enter the equation. So we wanted to make that a big part of our identity so that people understand the danger of just buying that blue goo, $2 for 87 ounces at the grocery store versus something that will actually, clean, get the job done, but also, not endanger your long-term health.
Yeah, that's important. And I mean, the other thing, thinking about, it's a veteran, partially veteran-owned company, and you said that some of the co-founders were deployed to Iraq, correct?
That's correct. Yes, they were both in the same. Back in 2011, they served together in the same unit, and they like to give each other hell over that because because one of them was the other one's sergeant. So there's definitely a line of command.
Oh yeah,
with those two.
Well, and I imagine being deployed like that. I mean, how long do you go without showering, without really being able to clean yourself and anything? So. Really being able to feel clean after even just a hard day's work has got to feel like $1,000,000 compared to somebody, people who are blessed like us to be able to shower every day is something as simple as that,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, all these groups that we try to support work so hard, and we want to make sure that we give them products that are all natural, but also working just as hard as they do, so that they have. They don't feel like 20 minutes after their shower, it's not keeping up with them. So that was another really important part for us, is to find products that were all natural, but that also lasted all day.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed, because I've tried it out, right? We've been using it a little bit. I've used it every day for the last few days. And I work pretty hard when I'm not playing out in the desert with guns. I'm swinging a hammer and getting sweaty and gross. And I've noticed, and this isn't, I'm not getting paid for this by any means, but I've noticed that I do feel cleaner longer, like seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been something that we have workshopped and really kind of tried to get right over the past, 8-10 months, and gone through a lot of different iterations, formulas, scents, and all that type of thing to kind of really narrow down something that we all feel like we can live with day in and day out, and it gets the job done without any of that garbage included.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people think about, like you said, what's going into, the hair, body wash, any of that kind of stuff that they use. And, like you mentioned, some of that stuff might not be all that good for you.
No, shocker. These products really aren't made with our health in mind. So,
they just want to make a buck.
Yeah, right. It's something that I never really paid much attention to. Like I said, my wife kind of started to get on that train, and she's kind of a hippie. She made her own deodorant forever ago, and it was actually pretty good. But I never considered it because I'm like, no, that crap's not going to work for me. So it's been good to kind of get on that bandwagon and find out that actually, all natural stuff really does work good. We're great, actually, in some areas. Some people just need to kind of be introduced. So we wanted to introduce those types of high quality products, premium products, to an entirely new audience that we feel very passionate about supporting.
Yeah, and you guys are all gun guys too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine, like Steve kind of brought it up, being out in the desert or going out on a full day of shooting. I mean, you're going to be out there sweating, getting dirty and stuff like that. So, the longer you feel clean, the longer you can stay out and train some more. So.
Absolutely. And I mean, we even have, man wipes. And the other day I was cleaning guns after a range day and had my Got Your Six wipes with me. They came in handy, man. I'm telling you, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us, let's kind of go back a little bit to the beginning, because you said that you thought, your buddy came to you with this idea and you said it was a stupid idea. So what kind of made you turn the corner on that?
It took me a little bit to jump on board because he had no idea, the ins and outs of this industry. He hadn't really done a ton of research into it yet. He had this idea, and he's no designer. So he comes with me with these comps of what the bottles or the labels should look like. And he had kind of an idea for a name, but he wasn't quite sure. He was trying to find a way to incorporate lots of different areas of either gun culture, the service of veterans, law enforcement, all the different branches, firefighters, EMS, what was something that maybe all of them would understand and kind of relate to, but not feel like it was too far in one category or the other. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Your drawings suck, dude, but we can do this. I feel like if we can put together a brand team, and luckily that's something that I do for a living, is help put together brands for other people. And I thought to myself, damn it, I'm in. I'm going to put this together. Let's make sure it's as badass as it can be, but also as high quality and premium as possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a lot of challenges kind of doing that, especially. But what's really cool to me is that, you can, because obviously I think, part of your passion for firearms and shooting and stuff kind of goes into this, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of baked into everything we do. Yeah. Because even if we're talking about specific editions and the charities that those support, I think the gun culture is also really baked into a lot of these different subcultures of veterans, police officers, even firefighters and EMS personnel. And obviously the all-American side of it. We wanted to find something that everybody could kind of relate to. And I think guns in a lot of ways is that thing.
Yeah. And I think, just kind of that, American spirit and being able to kind of have that freedom to start your own business is kind of, like you said, kind of baked into that gun ethos and all that. And I think it's kind of a cool example that, no matter what you're into, if you're also into firearms and stuff, you can bring that passion into other things and make, start a business out of it. Yeah,
I think, and maybe the world might see it differently, but firearms for Americans is almost like a really strong symbol of our our inherent freedoms and the way we go about our lives here, and how passionate we are about freedom. So that was kind of the idea behind tying that all together with a firearms reference that each individual member of one of these groups could really understand or identify.
Yeah, right. And I think the other thing about the gun community, if you want to say that in air quotes, is we tend to be pretty loyal. Like we help each other out. Even if one guy likes a 1911, the other guy likes a Glock, we still understand that we have the same cause. Like we know that we're fighting for the same purpose, and we'll join hand in hand in arms if we have to support those causes. And I think that really works for this product too.
Absolutely. We want people to feel like they're supported, their ideology, they're heard, and but we also give them the opportunity to pick kind of which individual group that they can support directly with their own funds.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the different causes that you do support?
Sure. So, and I'm glad you guys brought this up, because this is the biggest sticking point for us, is explaining to people that even though we have 5 different editions of our deodorant and our body wash, it's actually the same scent for each one. Yeah. The difference, however, the scent is called Belt Fed Bourbon, and it's freaking awesome. I love it, and I still wear it daily. I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. But, we'll do other scents in the future, but that's kind of what we're hanging our hat on right now. Yeah. But the different editions, the Warfighter edition, that goes to supporting veterans, either wounded or fallen veterans and their families. The Blue Line edition supports law enforcement officers. I believe right now the Gary Sinise Foundation is who we're directly supporting through all those proceeds. Awesome. Red Line edition supports Fallen Firefighters Foundation. So every purchase of a Red Line edition body wash or deodorant specifically goes to funding our donations for that cause. Also, First Response edition. Right now we're supporting the Code Green campaign, which also kind of does the same thing for EMS personnel, paramedics. They're also in danger on a daily basis. So, if they're injured or killed on the job or trying to help other people, we want to make sure that those people know that their families will be taken care of, or if they're injured severely, we can help support them as well. And then the All-American edition is the 5th version of our products. And that goes to supporting organizations that are trying to maintain American freedoms. And that will change. All these might change, quarter to quarter, year to year. And we actually we encourage people to contact us with causes that they would like to see us support in the future.
That's awesome.
So for now, we're supporting the Project Child Safe Foundation.
NSSF.
To make sure that that firearms community is also supported as well. But we want to make sure that Second Amendment rights are being fought for by some of the major organizations around our country that really feel passionate about that. That's something we want to make sure that we can contribute to as well. So as we move forward, we're going to make sure that we listen to our customers and the communities to make sure that every single edition is supporting causes that those specific branches or communities feel passionate about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, because then you're really, like you said, you're listening to customers and getting feedback and making a better product and supporting those organizations that your customers and groups feel passionate about.
Absolutely. And there's such a long list of amazing charities that help these groups out. So we want to make sure that we can support all of them equally. And hopefully, as the brand grows, so will the donations and the ability to kind of support multiple groups at a time.
Yeah. And just a kind of a quick sidebar, awesome. A little bit. Can you tell us about Project Child Safe a little bit more? Just kind of what their mission is and all that, because that's actually the first time I've heard about Project Child Safe. So
Project Child Safe is an organization that helps people by supplying locks for firearms, so that if people aren't able to or do not have locks to be able to make sure that their guns are secured, if they don't have access to a gun safe or a lockable closet to secure their firearms, or they just want to go the extra mile, this gets them taken care of. They donate these locks so that the firearms can be taken care of, so that obviously we have fewer accidents in the home. And obviously, as new gun owners get more and more educated on how to take care of those guns, they have kind of a recourse to make sure they're safe.
That's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
And it seems like I remember at SHOT we were talking about this. And it seems like last year or 2 years ago, they gave away like 2 million locks or something. Like it's a pretty substantial amount.
Yeah, absolutely. They do great work, and we want to make sure that we chose them as kind of the first for the All-American edition for a reason. But we have a long list of really important organizations that we want to support to make sure that Americans' freedoms are protected, but physically protected as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
noble indeed.
Let's talk about just because one of the things that kind of piqued my interest was starting this company, and keeping it kind of firearms related, but talking earlier, like I said, about whatever your passion is, you can tie that into firearms and make a business out of it. What are some challenges that you faced coming up with this business and getting it off the ground? Because, on the website, you talk about having a high quality product that's also all natural, and it's also at a good price point. It's not, sometimes you'd think maybe that, if it's all natural and it's high quality, that it's going to be, god awfully expensive, but really it's actually pretty affordable for what you're getting, in my opinion, at least. But how did you what kind of challenges did you kind of face with that, and how did you kind of overcome those?
I mean, the major challenge for us, is twofold. The first was finding the right product to begin with was a pretty arduous undertaking. We talked to countless manufacturers to try and show them exactly what we were after, the price point that we wanted to offer, because this is a premium product, but we're really trying to keep a blue collar attitude about who we approach, so that I don't want anyone feeling like this is, unattainable for someone who wants to try it. The price point just kind of, pushes them out of the conversation of trying our products, or being able to use these premium all natural products and really kind of take care of their long-term health. So that really was the hard part is, on one side, we want really premium products, but on the other side, we don't want to be charging premium prices.
Right.
So to find the right balance and the right partners to kind of get that right and get it a unique scent, a unique to our brand identity, so that when you smell it, hopefully okay, yep, I remember that. That's 556 Bodyops. I totally know that scent, and that's a scent that you can live with day in and day out, and not like 20 different scents like some other brands might offer. We wanted to make sure that if you're using all our products, you don't smell like a perfume counter at Macy's or something. Right. You don't want 5 different scents competing with each other. So
right.
we spent a lot of time ironing out, the details about the quality of the product, the smell of the product, the feel, all the different aspects of making a really memorable product and user experience. Oh man, I can't tell you how many different places or different body washes I've tried over the last year. Some of them were really bad. Some of them were really good, but really expensive. And so it was a trial. It was a journey to kind of find the right specific balance between the price, the quality, the scent, and the availability. Because honestly, if we're trying to pay it forward and help these different organizations and make donations, we want to make sure that we're able to do that, even at a good price point. So yeah, that really was kind of the gymnastics involved with trying to make a product that is profitable enough to help these organizations, and not just a few pennies per product, but at the same time make sure everyone felt included and felt like they could afford to take care of themselves and to help take care of other people.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. It's just,
and I think,
go ahead.
I think you did a good job. Oh, sorry, Mark. I think you did a pretty good job. Cause I know for myself and most dudes, if we're jumping around the website, we don't want to have to pick from 30 different flavors of what we want to smell like for the next 2 weeks. So it's nice. It's simple. Just get it done and help somebody along the way. I think you guys hit it on the head pretty well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we did. We tried really hard, and just for everybody's sake, because the other thing we really fretted over was people giving one brand a try, especially, it's not a super premium price, but it is an investment to kind of get one of these bundles and give it a try. We want to make sure that people can smell the product beforehand. So if you go to our website or DM us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll actually send you a postcard with a discount code for your first order that actually smells like the product, so you can kind of get a whiff of it before you buy.
Oh, no way.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's not super high tech. It's just a little thank you card that we literally just spray with.
And the other thing that's nice about the belt fed is it's not overbearing. It's not like maybe some of the other major brands that you find at a big box store when somebody walks in, oh yeah, that guy's totally wearing X product.
You pop the lid on some of those and the whole floor of your house smells like that for the next 30 minutes. Yeah, that's something else that we were really kind of careful about. We don't want an overpowerful, an oversmelming, I think is what we called it, scent. We want it to be subtle and, a little more mature. We're not trying to be Axe for cops. We're trying to aim a little higher with our standard. We want to make sure that people have more of a mature smell to them that's subtle but really fresh and nice.
And distinguishing too. You're right. It's not a juvenile high school scent. It's for men, damn it.
It's for men, damn it. Yeah, actually, I was texting or commenting with the guy today on Instagram, I think, and he said, isn't it? What did he say? This is just another Axe. And I'm like, actually, it's more like Axe, but for men. It's not more refined, your typical body spray BS. It's a little higher. We're aiming a little higher than that.
Yeah, it's interesting because the scent smells to me it smells familiar, but there is a refining kind of quality to it. So, it smells fresh, but it's classy, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, classy AF.
There it is.
That's how I would describe it.
So
was there? Oh, geez, Mark, I keep interrupting you.
That's
man.
okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, was there a few scents that you guys had narrowed down to and came to this one, or was just you smelt this one, you're like, that's it, that's the one?
Steve, I can't tell you how many essential oils I tried and combined in my own damn house, trying different drops, like 4 drops of this, 2 drops of that. No, I don't like that. Let's go 3 drops of this, 1 drop of, like, man, we really kind of poured our efforts into making sure the scent was just right. So when we found it, we were really excited, and then we wanted to make sure that it wasn't a scent that you would get tired of quickly. So we lived with it for months, and we're really excited about how it turned out. We still, all 3 of us are using it daily, not sick of it, still love it. So I think that's a good sign for hopefully our customer base.
Right on.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to ask you too, because you have more than just kind of like the hair and beard and body soap or body wash, and then the deodorant. You've got some other stuff, like you said, the wipes and some pomade and stuff too, right? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got our got your 6 wipes, which are, certified 100% flushable wipes.
And they're fantastic.
I love them. Like, even the smell, they don't smell like, other wipes, which is kind of why we love those ones so much. So those are great. They're packable. You can take them with you if you're going to go to the gym, or, you can use them for a whole bunch of stuff. You don't just have to use them in the bathroom, but they're pretty fantastic when you do, I'll admit. But for me, the beard oil was kind of a personal thing. I'm the only one of the group that has a beard or has had a beard for a long time. I think it's been over a decade at this point, but I was really particular about our beard scent, the texture, everything about beard oils, because I've tried so many over the years. Yeah. And you kind of get that same thing because it's on your face all the time. There's kind of a scent fatigue that kicks in, even if you like it initially. Right. So I've had a lot of different beard oils where it's like, oh, I love this smell when I first get it. And 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, Lord, I need something new. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
We named that one. It's a rosemary mint scent, but it kind of smells like, to me, it smells like a fresh cut cord of wood, like spring morning next to the river. Like, it's really a fresh scent, which is pretty sweet. So we called it Tactical Rosemary Mint, just to tie it back into that firearms roots. But I really like the beard oil. I just popped open a new bottle today, so
nice.
I'm on that train hard.
Well, yeah, let's 2 things. One, that's something, a good point you bring up is that, obviously people, you want to smell good, but you have to smell it yourself all day, especially with a beard or a mustache or whatever. And you really do have to like that smell. And after a while, you may either not smell it or you may be sick of it. Yeah. And that's a really good point, that you have to really like what you like, to smell like, I guess.
No, absolutely.
But the second thing, I was told that, we covered it a little bit, but you're a big gun guy. How did you get into firearms?
So, you know what? I didn't grow up with firearms. I grew up big cities, Seattle and San Diego. Okay. So my introduction to firearms was actually when I moved up here after my wife and I got married. We bought our first house in Southeast Idaho. And I just happened to, it was kind of funny. The real estate office was right next to a gun shop that had just opened up in our town. So I swung in there, talked to the guy for a bit, seemed like a nice dude. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know much about guns, but, I'm kind of looking into it. My wife's father was really into guns. And my only really exposure to guns was when we were married. He gave me a .45 1911 as a wedding present and said, "Take care of my daughter." And so that was my
wise man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, as I got to know that gun shop owner, we became really good friends. It just kind of, the sickness started, and it hasn't stopped. I have continued to purchase firearms, and I will continue to do so, I think, in perpetuity.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that once you get one and you learn that there's all different kinds of firearms, I feel like the further down the rabbit hole you go, the more you want.
It's true. You find out that, you know what, firearms are tools, and just like tools, they have a very specific function. And so you need different tools for different jobs. And that's where I'm at. I'm just going to keep buying tools.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
So do you have like, friends or family back in the big cities where, their views on firearms are different?
I kind of had to convert them, and it wasn't really a conscious choice on my end, but they were curious because they saw my collection was starting to multiply exponentially, and so they're like, "Hey, what the heck's going on with you?" And I'm like, "You got to check this out. The guns are pretty great."
It's a lot of fun.
My mom was terrified of them, but she had actually moved close to us after my addiction began. So I started showing her guns, and I've taught quite a few people in my family now, about firearm safety, and introduced them to firearms in a way that's comfortable for them so that they don't feel overwhelmed, because, let's face it, most people that don't have direct access to firearms, there's a stigma, there's a fear that these things are evil and dangerous and shouldn't be handled, and only the bad guys get them, and the good guys only use them when the bad guys are on the loose. So just trying to get them past that, I think successfully kind of showed them that firearms are something that we should all be familiar with and be comfortable with, because at that point there is no fear involved. There's just knowledge and confidence.
100% agree. It's sad. I mean, we see stuff going on in the world right now. I look at Canada, right? They just Trudeau just recalled every firearm in Canada and made millions of Canadians criminals right off the bat.
Yeah. I've never understood the idea behind, putting fences up around experience or knowledge. And if we're banning things just because of knee-jerk reactions or political clout, obviously we're going to go down a really dark road.
Yeah. And it, unfortunately, it seems like we're seeing that happening here little by little, and it makes me super nervous.
I see it too, Steve. And the best thing we can do really is, instead of, getting online and ranting and raving about how people should wake up and not be so naive or stupid, I really think the best way for me to get through to other people, like I've done in the past, is actually kind of one-on-one introduce them to what guns are.
Take them shooting. That's kind of the whole premise of the podcast. Why we started this whole shebang was introducing people to the community and showing them that it's not movies, it's not the nightly news. Right. There's a lot of benefits and positives that come from gun ownership, whether that be for defense or for sport. There's just so much fun that comes out of it. Absolutely.
I think it really is an integral part of our nation, and that we shouldn't be afraid of it. And so if you have someone that can teach you, or if you have questions, I feel like it's the best way to really get over any kind of fear is to approach it in a safe way, where someone you trust can introduce you to firearms and kind of show you they're not scary when you know what you're doing.
And I think 100%. All of us have had this experience where we take a new shooter or a very, very inexperienced shooter, and they're hitting bullseyes, or they're hitting clays or whatever, and the sense of accomplishment just in their eyes and their excitement when they turn back and look at you, I got it. And that is so rewarding. It is so much fun. That's why I wanted to become an instructor. That was the whole path why I wanted to do it, is just to see the look of achievement in these people's eyes when they feel it.
Oh man, they light up. And I agree, from, just talking to and having some experience with friends and family members, that sense of, oh, this is great. Like, why was I afraid of this? There's really no reason.
Why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I've
really
noticed is that, the education, and we've seen it on the podcast too, with people who haven't shot before, or people who haven't shot an AR-15 or a full rifle before like that. They're really nervous about it, but then once, you get the first couple rounds off, it becomes a lot of fun, and there is that sense of accomplishment. I think that's the biggest thing sometimes that people are surprised about, is that shooting can be a sport, and a sport that you can enjoy and get better at and develop skills, just like any other sport.
Absolutely. I love watching people shoot an AR-15 for the first time, and they look at you like, that was it? Like they're expecting some huge explosion or kick to the shoulder, where it's just...
Well, now they hear about his news reports, how they blow giant holes in things. It's just ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, it is ridiculous. And it's fun to educate people so that they can see how ridiculous the media really does portray all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. Thank you for sharing all that. We preach it all the time on the podcast about taking people shooting and stuff, but I don't think we could have put it any better ourselves. So.
No, that's great, guys. I love your cause, and I'm always on board to kind of support firearms in general and education. It's really kind of how we can turn the tide in this fear-based.
And you mentioned it earlier. That's the only really effective way. I mean, we're all can be keyboard warriors, like you say, but most of that just falls by the wayside, hitting a brick wall with the words, where actions, taking them out there, that makes a huge difference.
One-on-one is how we're going to get it done. Like, there's really no other way. Otherwise, tensions just rise and people feel attacked, where, if you feel attacked, you turn off your listening skills and it's over.
Yeah, there has to be
100%.
Well, Steve, do we want to move on to the 5 questions then?
We can. I kind of surprised. I sent Matt a text earlier today. Said, "Hey, just so you know, there's a series of questions."
Here we go.
But he's saying,
I'm ready.
He felt like he was pretty confident. We'll see.
I think you'll do just fine.
Yeah, they're not scary. Every guest, for the first time they're on the show, they get these questions, and honestly, they're not even really related to shooting or anything like that. It's really just to get to know you is all it's about. So
you guys don't want to do that, I promise you.
Hey, I promise you, every time we've given these questions to guests, like, it has taken us places that we never expected. And we've learned a lot of things about people that would have never known in a lifetime of hanging out with them.
Yeah,
and I'm ready.
And the point of it,
any crimes though.
the point of it is to show that gun owners are different far and wide, and there's all many different kinds, and we all are humans and have different stories to tell. So
awesome. Yeah. I love that. All right, shoot.
Okay. Number 1, what experience in your life has been the most influential, and why?
It might be a cliche answer, but when you have your first kid, that to me was just more of an eye-opening, wow, that I can't believe that just happened kind of a thing. I was lucky enough. We had a doctor that allowed me to actually be there and catch my son as he was being born, which I will never forget as long as I live. And there's just, and people talk about it, you hear it and you don't really get it until it happens, but there's that switch, that switch flips, and then all of a sudden you are a different person, and you'll do anything. So it's super cliche and boring, but that was definitely probably the most influential moment.
Nice.
I don't see it as cliche.
Well, it's, okay, it's not cliche, but it's hopefully something that most people get to experience in their life, because really, I don't feel like, life really clicks until that point.
That's the next chapter.
For sure.
Nice.
All right. Oh, awesome. All right. So you just won the lottery. Here's the second question. Just won the lottery. It's a huge amount of money, like just a ridiculous amount of cash. What's the first thing you do with it, and why?
First thing I do with a ridiculous amount of cash. Oh, man. See, these kind of questions I get stuck on. I really don't know what to do with money. I've never had it, so who knows? Let's see. What do I do? Honestly, I think I invest it. It's a stupid answer.
Why? That's probably the smartest answer.
It's a smart answer, but it's a boring answer. Sorry, I'm being super boring.
Not at all.
I'm giving back to these causes because honestly, it's something we believe in really strongly. I want to see these people that give so much to the rest of society taken care of in a much better, way across the board. So I think charity, invest the crap out of the rest of it and let generations benefit moving forward.
How is that a boring answer?
And buy a Hellcat.
Okay.
You got something fun there. There we go.
I like that idea.
All right, good.
Okay, here's a big one. What's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear is I forget how to listen. Does that make sense? Like, I think everybody stops learning when they stop listening. So to me, it's all about being able to listen and learn something from every person. So as long as I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to learn. So that's my biggest fear is I get to a point where fear actually takes over and won't allow me to progress as a person.
Awesome.
That's a great one. We've never had that one before.
Yeah. Okay, what would you say is your biggest achievement?
Biggest achievement. Right now I'm freaking working on it. You know what I mean? Like I own my own business. I do marketing for a living. But I feel like this project could be and hopefully will be the biggest achievement outside of raising good human beings to raise more.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is my favorite question. This is one I always hold to the last. Okay. I know how I would. I know how I would answer, and I always like to hear other people's answer. Who would you consider as your greatest hero?
Greatest hero. Probably my dad. That guy, he never met anybody he didn't love. You know what I mean? He was a really warm, open, loving person that gave me a great example how to listen to people and also how to just accept them for who they are. So I really appreciate that example, and it's helped me a lot to kind of see how different life and experiences can mold people into who they are and how we all kind of want the same thing, but we all go in completely different ways about achieving that. So, my dad for sure.
That's awesome.
That's great. That was the last one.
Yes.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it? No, I love giving these questions because, like I say, it lets at least me, and I know everybody else that listens, so it lets us know, like Mark says, there's real people behind these instructors or teachers or whoever we got on the show that they're just not talking heads, that there's more to them.
Absolutely. No, and that's kind of one of my core philosophies is every person has something to teach you. It's just a matter if you want to listen. So I love that. I love the idea about learning about these people, who they are, where they come from, because like you said, firearms might kind of be that one touch point that everybody on the podcast or the audience that really kind of rallies around, but we're so different in so many ways.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've done over 100 episodes now, and we've had, like Steve said, people of all different kinds, and answer wildly differently with those questions, and all that. But and
when I say we've gone places we never thought we would go, listen to our honey badger episode with one of our instructors at the store. Oh my gosh, like. We didn't expect it to go that direction, and not that it was bad. Like, it was a great. Jessica's one of our head instructors over there, and It was just somewhere we didn't expect to go. I don't know how else to explain
Damn it, now I got to listen right now. Jeez, this is a good intro.
Yeah, and I mean, it just shows how big the firearms world is, how many, different kinds of people get into the firearms world, and, just shows to me how many responsible, normal, upstanding people there are in the firearms world that are either, they're passionate about the sport, they're trying to make a living, or they just, are passionate about their right to defend themselves,
Absolutely. No, I feel like the longer you're in that kind of audience or the more you learn, the more you realize how really genuine people are and how they want the best for not only themselves, but for everyone else. They're trying to educate because we're all passionate about freedom. We're all passionate about maintaining a high standard in society and really expressing that with anyone we can, which is so important.
Yeah. Well, Matt, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Why don't you tell everybody where they can get their 556 Bodyops gear and how they can get in touch with you guys?
Absolutely. So you can just go to 556bodyops.com to find all of our products. We're also on Facebook and Instagram right now, working on Twitter, but 556 Bodyops is where you're going to find us.
Yeah, you got to give them a try. You'll smell great and feel clean no matter what you're doing, man. And it's all natural. No BS there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like it.
Steve, you got anything else?
Guys,
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Matt. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again soon, man. So if you want to get a hold of us, podcast at iishooting.com, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Range Minded Podcast. And thanks for listening as always. We appreciate you.
Word. Be safe, guys.
See ya. Thanks for listening to Range Minded. Find us online at Range Minded Podcast on Facebook, or send us an email at podcast@iishooting.com. We're always happy to get feedback, episode suggestions, whatever you want to send us, really. And be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and pretty much wherever else you get your podcasts from. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.